Okay, good evening and welcome to the Board of Selectmen's meeting of Monday, March 2nd, 2009. We received one regarding the Marshfield Airport, and it states that the Selectmen of Marshfield should address the question of responsibility for the lease of the town-owned airport to the private corporation Shoreline Aviation. First paragraph of agreement. This indenture made and entered into this 6th day of May, 2003, pursuant to Mass Laws, Chapter 9051F, by and between the town of Marshfield, a body politic in the Commonwealth, as owner and hereinafter called the lessor, and the Shoreline Aviation, Inc., also of Marshfield, as the lessee, and hereinafter referred to as the lessee. Place on your meeting agenda ASAP the report of Town Council regarding the responsibility of the Selectmen. Are the Selectmen responsible for the lease? And actually, before ever receiving this petition, the board did pose several of the questions that we've heard at the public meetings regarding the airport to Town Council, and so we do have a written opinion from Town Council regarding authority of the Selectmen over the airport and the Airport Commission. A couple of excerpts of that is, do the Selectmen control the Airport Commission? The initial answer is no, and Town Council went on to outline Mass General Laws, Chapter 90, and the explanation that the Airport Commission, which shall have the custody, care, and management of the municipal airport. And there's a lengthy explanation following that. The second question is, do the Selectmen have any authority to take part in airport lease negotiations? Again, the answer is no. Mass General Law, Chapter 9051F provides as follows, that any airport commission may let or lease for a period not exceeding 20 years those land areas at any airport under its control which are used for airport purposes under such terms and conditions as it may prescribe for hangars, shops, storage, industrial purposes, offices, and other space rental, and for concessions, and may lease any other areas at such airport for any purpose. And then our third question was, are there any grounds for renegotiating the lease? And Town Council responded that the lease between the town and Shoreline has the usual provisions for termination in the event of breach by the lessee. Town Council added that he is not aware of any breach by Shoreline of the terms of the lease. However, there is Section 11 of the lease has the only provision that refers to renegotiation, and Town Council goes on again to discuss what grounds for renegotiation there are. Town Council does note, however, the Selectmen would have no authority with respect to whether such renegotiation should occur and what new lease terms would be appropriate. This would be solely in the discretion of the Airport Commission. Okay, so we'll just move on to our next agenda item, which is the South Shore Habitat for Humanity. And I believe, do we have representatives, someone who want to come forward and speak?
Jerry McDermott's here.
Okay. Mr. McDermott, would you like to come forward?
So we are here tonight to see if, in fact, we can proceed and move forward. I did bring a new check for $10,000 because the one that I delivered Memorial Day weekend to Mr. Rocco Longo is probably stale. And I'm
still
also,
have it, though.
I'm also here just to see if any of the members of the Board of Selectmen have any questions.
I don't think I have any questions. I would just like to commend you for leaping through the hoops of DHCD and surviving.
I guess I have a question. Do we have the okay, and maybe Mr. Longo can answer this, to get the purchase and sale signed as well?
Actually, that's what the board would be doing tonight,
Yeah,
is
that's what
signing
I
the
think. I think
P&S.
that's the other thing.
Okay, and we've received approval from Town Council.
Town Council's looked at it, and he also was on vacation last week, and I'm grateful that he was able, between the time he returned and today, did approve everything. So whatever's before you that Kate is presenting is the P&S, which means we can proceed. And it does, as Mr. McDermott explained, it does count as an affordable unit now. But it's like after a year, we went all the way around the bases. We're back where we started. But hopefully, between Habitat and the state, they'll work out the nuance. So you are signing the P&S.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Do we have a motion?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second. Any further discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. So our next action item is the authorization to borrow from the library. We have received a request from Alan Ribaldi, the library director, and regarding on behalf of the Library Building Committee. And this relates to what was voted last year at annual town meeting. And the vote is, will the town vote to raise and appropriate, transfer from available funds, or borrow a sum of money for the purpose of design, construction, and other related costs associated with the renovation and expansion of the Ventris Memorial Library, or take any other action relative thereto? And that was Article 29 of the Spring 2008 town meeting. And so this is a request for authorization to borrow the amount of $450,000.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. And then we have our Grow Solar contract, which is another one that was pending town council approval and have
And he's
received-
reviewed those. I suggest that they're in approvable condition. He did review them, but I would like, after you sign them, to have him deliver them to Grow Solar. All of his input was incorporated into the agreement. We also got a performance bond and some other assurances that town council required. So the agreements are prepared for your signature, and I recommend you approve those with the condition that town council review them before they're forwarded, just for the last step of the process.
Okay, excellent. And these are for the solar electric proposals at the police station, the middle school, and the recreation
Perfect.
center. Okay, so we have a motion made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. And then we have our chief, Kevin Robinson from the fire department, discussing ambulance billing rates.
Actually, Madam Chair, if it's acceptable, I have two fee increases that I would like to discuss with the board.
Okay.
The two items that I would bring to the board's attention and I would ask your action on is, first is the increase in our inspection fees. As you can see at the top of that page, they have not been increased since 1990. And the inspection fee request is based on the cost that I believe to provide that service. And the way I determine the cost is which one of the officers goes out and does the inspection. If it's an inspection that the deputy chief does or it's an inspection the captain does, is how I determine what the cost should be. By raising the inspection fees, my recommendation would allow a greater percent of the budget to be spent on providing our core services of fire suppression, rescue, and emergency medical services. Based on the number of inspections done in fiscal '08, these increases could raise an additional $8,000 if inspections remain steady, which I do not expect in fiscal '09, but possibly in fiscal '10.
When would you like this to be effective?
30 days?
Okay. So
How about April 1st?
do we have a motion to
So moved,
approve the
Madam Chair.
increases? And that is effective.
What would you like?
I yield to the chief. Yeah.
I think in these fiscal times, every penny helps, so I would propose April 1st. So we get a quarter
I agree.
of those increases.
Okay, so effective April 1st.
Second.
Any further discussion? Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, and the second item I have for you, Madam Chair, is the ambulance rates. And you can see what the current rates are and what I'm recommending. On page 2, our billing company, Coastal Medical, gave us a chart of high and low for our area. And if we just go down that list, you can see the mileage, the low of $8.35 and high of $21.35. I'm proposing $15. We don't do ALS non-emergency. The ALS emergency, we're proposing $635, and the low is $534 and the high is $751. So we're about in the middle of the rates, as you can see when you go down that list. We don't do any non-emergency work. That's for transferring nursing home patients to the hospital and back and forth. We don't do that work. We only do emergency. So those are not applicable to us. But everything else, we're in the middle of the road as far as those rates. And what I'm requesting is that we go Medicare plus 30. And again, this ambulance rate increase is based on the rising cost of our vehicles, the fuel, supplies, insurance, and labor. Each of our...
Excellent. Okay. Any further discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you very much. To our agenda, we also have the permission to deficit spend snow and ice budget. The snow and ice budget for FY 2008 was established at $350,000, and an additional $100,000 was authorized, bringing the snow and ice budget to $450,000. An authorization for an additional $150,000 of spending was requested on January 28, 2009, which brought the total snow and ice budget to $600,000. The attached memo reflects expenditures through January 21st, 2009, additional cost of $19,735 for salt and sand invoiced on January 26, 2009, as well as the storm of January 28, 2009 are not included. The snow and ice event today, coupled with the activities on February 27th and 28th to the salt and sand, bring the salt and sand invoice of $45,026 processed today will increase the current deficit by at least $100,000. Therefore, I request an additional $150,000 be transferred to the snow and ice budget, bringing the total to $750,000.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes.